The last kiss she ever gave was caught on camera. 31 seconds later, she stepped into a future she would never escape. The people who ordered her death weren't strangers. They were the family of the man she loved. This isn't fiction. This is the Hargrove Inheritance Murder, and when it's over, you'll question what family really means. Before we go any further, I need you to do something. Hit that subscribe button right now. Tap that notification bell. Because the case you're about to hear will shake you to your core, and you don't want to miss a single investigation we cover here at 72-Hour True Crime. This channel brings you the cases that need to be told, the ones that expose the darkness hiding in plain sight. Subscribe now, and let's dive in. Pay attention to this security camera footage. March 14, 2024. Maplewood, Virginia. Residential closed-circuit television mounted on the back of a house captures exactly 31 seconds. You see an elderly white man with white hair sitting in a wheelchair on a stone patio. A black woman, 35 years old, wearing navy scrubs, walks from the back door toward him. She bends down. She places her hand on the armrest, and she kisses him on the mouth. Tender. Real. For 4 seconds. Then she straightens up, moves behind the wheelchair, and pushes him back toward the house. At 6:35 in the evening, they disappear from the camera's view. This is the last time Alicia Turner is seen alive. 11 days later. March 25, 2024. 6:47 in the morning. Anonymous call to Maplewood Police Department. Male voice, distorted. Calm. Riverside Warehouse, Unit 4B. There's a body. Line goes dead. Detectives arrive. The warehouse hasn't been operational in 3 years. They force open Unit 4B. Back room, locked from the outside. Inside, they find Alicia Turner. Hands zip-tied behind her back. Ligature marks around her neck. Still wearing the navy scrubs from 11 days ago. She'd been dead for 11 days while the entire city searched for her. Now, most people think this is about a random abduction. Wrong. This is about $2.5 million, a revised will, and a family that paid $50,000 to eliminate someone they saw as a threat to their inheritance. But to understand how we got here, to understand why a healthcare worker ended up murdered in a warehouse, we need to go back. Back to the moment everything changed for William Hargrove. September 12, 2021. William Hargrove, 79 years old, gets T-boned by a pickup truck at 50 miles per hour. Survives. But his vertebrae shatter. Paralyzed from the waist down. Permanently. One moment, he's driving home from the grocery store. The next, he's being airlifted to the hospital with injuries so severe the doctors aren't sure he'll make it through the night. But William does make it. He survives. And then the real nightmare begins. William has 3 family members. Son Bradley, 54 years old. Daughter Christine, 51. Grandson Tyler, 29. First month after the accident, they visit. Bradley comes twice a week. Christine drives down from Richmond every weekend. Tyler stops by after work. They bring flowers. They bring cards. They tell William he's going to be okay, that they're there for him, that family sticks together. Second month, visits slow. Bradley comes once a week. Christine every other weekend. Tyler maybe once. Third month, almost nothing. Bradley visits twice in the first year after the accident. Christine once. Tyler never. William spends his 80th birthday alone, staring at a phone that doesn't ring. He orders takeout. Eats it by himself. Goes to bed at 7 in the evening because there's nothing else to do. No cake. No candles. No calls. Nothing. Investigators later find his journal from November 2021. The handwriting is shaky, uneven, but the words are clear. Quote, "My family vanished the moment I became a burden. I was only valuable when I could write checks," end quote. And that's the truth, isn't it? William had money. A lot of it. $3.2 million in assets. The house, worth $800,000. Investment accounts. Retirement funds. Real estate holdings. And as long as William was healthy, as long as he could drive and walk and live independently, his family was content to wait. They'd visit on holidays. They'd call on birthdays. They'd maintain the minimum relationship necessary to stay in the will. But the moment William became paralyzed, the moment he needed them, they disappeared. Because caring for someone is work. It's time. It's inconvenience. And Bradley, Christine, and Tyler weren't interested in that. They were interested in the inheritance. December 14th, 2021. 3 months after the accident. William hires a home health aide through Premier Care Services. He's been managing on his own with minimal help, but it's becoming too much. He can't cook. Can't clean. Can't do basic tasks. He needs someone. The agency sends their best. 4.9 stars out of 5. 47 families served. Glowing reviews across the board. Her name is Alicia Turner. 32 years old. Born in Richmond, Virginia. First in her family to go to college. She got a full scholarship to nursing school. Top of her class. Future so bright everyone said she'd end up running a hospital someday. But then her mother gets stage 4 cancer. Pancreatic. Terminal. Doctors give her 6 months. Alicia drops out of nursing school. Moves back home. Takes care of her mother full time. Bathes her. Feeds her. Administers medication. Holds her hand through the pain. Her mother dies 6 months later, exactly as the doctors predicted. Alicia is 25 years old. Broke. Grieving. Degree unfinished. She never goes back to nursing school. Instead, she becomes a certified home health aide. It's not what she planned, but it's what she knows how to do. And over the next 7 years, she becomes exceptional at it. Alicia arrives at William's house for her first day. December 14th, 2021. 8 o'clock in the morning. She knocks. No answer. She knocks again. Still nothing. She uses the key the agency provided and walks inside. The house is dark. Curtains drawn. Silent. She finds William sitting in his wheelchair by the window in the living room, staring at nothing. Doesn't turn when she enters. Doesn't acknowledge her presence. He's given up on people. Why wouldn't he? Everyone he loved abandoned him. Alicia doesn't start with the checklist. Doesn't ask about medications or dietary restrictions or physical therapy schedules. Instead, she asks one question. Mr. Hargrove, what's your favorite meal? The one you'd make if you could stand in a kitchen again. William turns his head slowly. Someone's asking what he wants. Not what he needs. Not what's medically appropriate or easy to prepare. What he wants. He stares at her for a long moment. Then he answers. Homemade lasagna. My late wife's recipe. 2 days later, Alicia brings ingredients. Fresh pasta sheets. Ground beef. Italian sausage. Ricotta, mozzarella, parmesan. San Marzano tomatoes. Fresh basil. She sets everything at counter height so William can help from the wheelchair. She hands him a wooden spoon. Asks him to stir the sauce. Gives him the cheese grater. Lets him grate the parmesan. They work together for 2 hours. The kitchen smells like garlic and oregano and memories. When they eat, William cries. First time he's felt alive since the accident. First time someone's treated him like a person instead of a patient. Over the next year, Alicia does more than required. Way more. Her contract says 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Basic care. Meals. Medication management. Physical therapy assistance. But Alicia goes beyond that. She learns William loves jazz. Miles Davis. John Coltrane. Thelonious Monk. She brings her personal record collection. They listen to Kind of Blue during therapy sessions. She discovers he used to read poetry. Keats. Whitman. Emily Dickinson. She finds his favorite book, Leaves of Grass, dusty on a shelf, and reads to him every afternoon. She takes him to parks. To restaurants. To the botanical gardens. Places where people see him as a person, not a wheelchair. Places where he can feel the sun on his face and hear children laughing and remember what it's like to be part of the world. William starts smiling again. Laughing. Hoping. He wakes up looking forward to 8 o'clock. Looking forward to hearing Alicia's car pull into the driveway. looking forward to breakfast and conversation and jazz and poetry, and feeling like life still has meaning. One evening, June 2022, William asks a question he's been holding back for months. Why do you waste your time with a broken old man? Alicia looks at him. Doesn't hesitate. Doesn't sugarcoat. You're not broken. You're just waiting for someone to remind you that you're still here. That's when William realizes he's falling in love. He doesn't say anything. Not then. Not for over a year. He's 80 years old. She's 33. The age gap is impossible. Wrong. Inappropriate. What would people think? What would they say? But he can't stop the feeling. Every time she walks into the room, his heart lifts. Every time she smiles at him, he forgets about the wheelchair and the paralysis and the loneliness. Every time she touches his hand, even casually, he feels something he thought was gone forever. Hope. By 2023, they've developed a routine. She arrives 8 o'clock in the morning. They have breakfast together. Scrambled eggs. Toast. Coffee. Then physical therapy. Stretching exercises to maintain muscle tone and circulation. Then conversation. About everything. Politics. History. Music. Movies. Books. Life. Alicia starts noticing things. How William looks at her when he thinks she's not watching. How his face lights up the moment she enters a room. How he finds excuses to keep her there longer. Asks her to read one more poem. Listen to one more song. Tell one more story. And she realizes something terrifying and beautiful at the same time. She's falling in love too. She fights it at first. This is her job. He's her client. There are boundaries. Professional ethics. Power dynamics. But feelings don't follow rules. And the truth is, what she feels isn't about his age or his disability or the fact that he pays her salary. What she feels is about who he is. His kindness. His intelligence. His humor. The way he listens when she talks about her day. The way he remembers details. The way he cares. September 8, 2023. William can't hold it in anymore. They're sitting in the living room. Evening light coming through the windows. Jazz playing softly. Alicia is reading Keats. She finishes a poem and looks up. William is staring at her. Alicia, I need to tell you something. She puts the book down. Okay. William takes a breath. I'm in love with you. Not because you take care of me. Not because you're kind or patient or good at your job. Because of who you are. I know I'm 82. I know this is insane. I know I have no right to feel this way. But I had to tell you. I couldn't keep pretending. Alicia stands up. Doesn't say a word. Grabs her bag. Walks out. William is devastated. He just destroyed the one good thing in his life. She's going to quit. Request a transfer. He'll never see her again. He sits in his wheelchair staring at the door she just walked through, and he starts to cry. But next morning, 8 o'clock exactly, Alicia walks in. She doesn't go to the kitchen. Doesn't start the routine. She walks straight to William's wheelchair. Kneels down so they're eye level. I didn't know what to say last night. I was scared. But I thought about it all night, and here's what I know. I don't care that you're 82. I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care about the age difference, or what's appropriate, or what people will say. I love you too. They become a couple that day. Keep it secret. They know his family will never understand. And they're right. Because 7 months later, the family finds out. And everything falls apart. January 18, 2024. Bradley Hargrove visits his father. First time in 8 months. Phone records later show he'd called his accountant the week before, asking about accessing inheritance early. Asking if there was any way to get money now instead of waiting for his father to die. The accountant said no. Not unless William agreed. Bradley needed money. His business was struggling. He owed back taxes. Credit card debt piling up. He was desperate. So he decides to visit his father. Soften him up. Ask for a loan. Bradley walks in unannounced. 1:30 in the afternoon. Doesn't knock. Uses his old key. What he sees stops him cold. His father and Alicia sitting together on the couch. Holding hands. Laughing. Not patient and caregiver. Not employer and employee. A couple. Bradley's brain can't process it at first. Then rage floods in. He explodes. What the hell is this? William and Alicia both turn. Bradley, what are you doing here? Bradley ignores the question. Points at Alicia. She's taking advantage of you. Can't you see that? She's manipulating you. William's anger breaks through. Anger he's been holding back for 3 years. Where were you when I was alone? Where were you when I needed help? When I was scared? When I didn't know if I'd survive? Alicia was the only one who cared. The only one who showed up. The only one who treated me like a human being. Bradley, you don't understand. She's using you for your money. William, get out. Bradley, Dad, I'm trying to help. William, get out of my house. Now. Bradley slams the door on his way out. Sits in his car shaking with fury. Calls Christine. We have a problem. Big problem. That evening, Bradley, Christine, and Tyler meet at a coffee shop in Richmond. Emergency meeting. Bradley tells them what he saw. Dad's in a relationship with the caregiver. She's manipulating him. We need to do something. Christine is skeptical at first. Maybe it's innocent. Maybe they're just close. Bradley, I saw them holding hands. Laughing together. It's not innocent. Tyler, what do you want to do? Bradley, we confront him. All of us. Tomorrow. Next day, January 19th, all three show up at William's house. 10 o'clock in the morning. Alicia is there. She's cleaning the kitchen. They walk in together. United front. Dad, we need to talk. William is in his wheelchair in the living room. What about? Christine, we're concerned about Alicia. William, there's nothing to be concerned about. Bradley, we think she's taking advantage of your vulnerability. We think you should fire her. Tyler, we're just trying to protect you, Grandpa. William loses it. Protect me? Where were you when I needed protection? Where were you when I was alone and scared and didn't know if I wanted to keep living? You abandoned me for 3 years. 3 years. And now you show up and try to take away the one person who gave a damn? Get out. All of you. Bradley, we're family. William, family doesn't abandon each other. You're not my family. Alicia is. Now get out before I call the police. They leave. But they're not done. Not even close. That same day, Bradley hires a private investigator. Background check on Alicia Turner. Dig deep. Find something. Anything. Criminal record. Financial problems. Previous accusations. The investigator works for 2 weeks. Comes back with nothing. Alicia is clean. No criminal history. No debt. No red flags. Perfect record. Every family she's worked for gave her 5 stars. Several wrote letters of recommendation without being asked. The investigator's conclusion: if she's scamming anyone, she's been planning it her whole life, and that doesn't make sense. Bradley isn't satisfied. He consults a lawyer. Asks about challenging William's mental competency. The lawyer reviews William's medical records. Talks to his doctors. Runs cognitive assessments. Verdict: completely lucid. Memory intact. Decision-making capacity unimpaired. No signs of dementia or cognitive decline. The lawyer tells Bradley bluntly, your father is of sound mind. You have no case. Every legal avenue fails. The investigator found nothing. The lawyer says there's no case. William is competent. The relationship is consensual. There's nothing they can do. But then something changes. Something that turns this from a family dispute into a murder conspiracy. March 5, 2024. William calls his attorney, Richard Thornton. They've worked together for 20 years. Richard handles William's estate planning, business contracts, everything. William asks for a private meeting. Urgent. Richard clears his schedule. They meet at William's house that afternoon. William wastes no time. I want to change my will. Richard pulls out his notepad. Okay. What changes? William, everything. Here's what the original will said. Son Bradley, $1.5 million. Daughter Christine, $1.5 million. Grandson Tyler, $200,000. Various charities, $100,000 combined. Everything else, miscellaneous assets, to be divided equally among Bradley and Christine. Total estate value, approximately $3.2 million. Standard family inheritance. But William's about to blow it up. Here's the new will. Son Bradley, $200,000. Was $1.5 million. Daughter Christine, $200,000. Was $1.5 million. Grandson Tyler, $100,000. Was $200,000. Alicia Turner, $2.5 million, plus the house, and all remaining assets. Richard stops writing. Mr. Hargrove, are you sure about this? William, I've never been more sure of anything in my life. My children abandoned me. Alicia saved me. She deserves everything. Richard, I need to advise you that your children will contest this. William, let them try. Richard, they'll argue undue influence. Manipulation. They'll say she took advantage of you. William, that's why I want you to add a clause. If any family member is convicted of any crime against Alicia Turner, their inheritance is void. Everything they would have received goes to charity. Can you do that? Richard thinks for a moment. Yes. It's unusual, but it's legal. William, do it. William signs the new will. March 5, 2024. Witnessed. Notarized. Legally airtight. Done. Richard puts the documents in his briefcase. I'll file these with the court tomorrow. Keep copies in the safe. William, thank you. Richard leaves. William sits in his wheelchair feeling lighter than he has in years. He's taken control. Protected Alicia. Made sure his family can't hurt her after he's gone. But William doesn't know something. Richard's assistant, Karen Ross, is Christine's college best friend. They roomed together freshman year. Stayed close ever since. And Karen has access to all of Richard's files. March 8, 2024. 3 days after William signs the will. Karen calls Christine. Hey, we need to talk. In person. Can you meet me? Christine, is everything okay? Karen, just meet me. Coffee shop on Broad Street. 1 hour. They meet. Karen slides a folder across the table. Your father changed his will. Christine opens it. Reads. Her face goes white. Almost everything goes to the caregiver. $2.5 million plus the house. You and Bradley get $200,000 each. Tyler gets $100,000. And there's a clause. If any of you are convicted of a crime against her, you get nothing. It all goes to charity. Christine immediately calls Bradley. Emergency. We need to meet. Tonight. Bradley, what happened? Christine, just meet me. Your place. 7 o'clock. Bring Tyler. That evening, Bradley, Christine, and Tyler meet at Bradley's house. Christine shows them the will. Bradley reads it twice. Doesn't speak. Just stares at the numbers. Tyler, this can't be legal. Christine, it's legal. I had Karen check. Dad's competent. The will is valid. It's done. Long silence. Panic. Fury. Desperation. Bradley finally speaks. We need to challenge it. Christine shakes her head. Karen already asked her boss. He said it would take years. Cost hundreds of thousands in legal fees. And we'd probably lose. William's doctors will testify he's competent. Alicia's record is clean. We have no evidence of manipulation. Tyler, so what do we do? Silence. Long, heavy silence. Bradley's voice drops. Becomes quieter. Colder. If something happens to Alicia before Dad dies, the bequest is invalid. She can't inherit if she's dead. Money reverts to the original beneficiaries. To us. Christine stares at him. Bradley, what are you suggesting? Bradley, I'm suggesting we make sure she's not around to collect. Tyler, are you serious right now? Bradley, Do you want to lose $2.5 million to some caregiver who's been here less than 3 years? Tyler, no, but Bradley, then we don't have a choice. Police later recover deleted text messages. They're able to pull them from cell phone company servers. Here's what they find. March 9, 2024. The day after they met. Bradley to Christine and Tyler, group text. We can't let her steal what's ours. Christine, what exactly are you proposing? Bradley, I'm proposing we handle this permanently. Tyler, you're talking about murder. Bradley, I'm talking about protecting our inheritance. Tyler, this is insane. Christine, Bradley, we need to think about this. Bradley, there's nothing to think about. If she's alive when Dad dies, we lose everything. If she's not, we get what we're entitled to. Simple math. March 10, 2024. Tyler calls Vincent Cross. They served together in the Marines. Same unit. Iraq. 2 tours. Vincent got a dishonorable discharge in 2015. Assault. He beat a fellow Marine nearly to death in a bar fight. Since then, Vincent's been working freelance. Security. Debt collection. Enforcement. And sometimes, things that don't have names. Tyler and Vincent talk for 8 minutes. Phone records confirm it. Tyler, I need a favor. Big one. Vincent, how big? Tyler, we need someone to disappear. Vincent, we? Tyler, family situation. Inheritance issue. Someone's in the way. Vincent, I know someone who can help. It'll cost you. Tyler, how much? Vincent, 50,000. 25 up front. 25 after. Tyler, deal? Vincent brings in Ramon Silva. They've worked together before. Multiple jobs. Ramon is the muscle. Vincent is the planner. Both have done this before, though neither has ever been caught. Price is agreed. $50,000. Half up front. Half after. Bank records show Bradley withdraws $25,000 cash from 3 different accounts. March 11th. 10,000 from one account. 10,000 from another. 5,000 from a third. Spreads it out to avoid triggering bank reporting requirements. March 13th. He withdraws another $25,000 the same way. Total, $50,000 in cash. Untraceable. Vincent and Ramon start surveillance. March 12, 2024. They begin watching William's house. Learning Alicia's schedule. What time she arrives. 8 o'clock in the morning, every weekday. What time she leaves. Varies. Usually between 6 and 7 in the evening. What car she drives. Green Honda Civic. License plate Charlie David 7283. What route she takes. What stores she stops at. Where she's vulnerable. They watch for 3 days straight. 12-hour shifts. Taking notes. Photos. Building a profile. This wasn't impulsive. This wasn't a crime of passion. This was surgical. March 14th, 2024. Thursday. Alicia's last workday before a week off. She's taking vacation. Planning to visit her aunt in North Carolina. William has a surprise planned. He wants to propose. He bought a ring 2 weeks ago. Simple. Elegant. Gold band with a small diamond. Nothing flashy. He's been carrying it in his pocket for days, waiting for the right moment. Tonight, he's decided. After dinner, he's going to ask her to marry him. Alicia doesn't know. She also doesn't know that Vincent and Ramon have been watching for 3 days. That Tyler already gave them her license plate. That they're parked 3 blocks away right now, waiting. Around 11 o'clock in the morning, Bradley texts Tyler. Today. Go. Tyler responds immediately. Already in motion. At 11:15, Tyler texts Vincent. Target leaving around 6:30 tonight. Green Honda. Plate Charlie David 7283. Be ready. Vincent, we're ready. 8 o'clock in the morning. Alicia arrives at William's house. Normal day. Happy day. Last day before vacation. She makes breakfast. Scrambled eggs. Whole wheat toast. Fresh orange juice. William tries to flip a pancake from his wheelchair. Drops it on the floor. They both laugh. She makes another one. They eat together. Talk about her trip. William asks if she'll miss him. She says of course. Every second. He smiles. Wants to tell her about the ring but doesn't. Tonight. He'll tell her tonight. The day passes. Physical therapy. Stretching exercises. Range of motion work. Then jazz. Miles Davis. So what? Alicia loves this song. They listen twice. Then conversation. William tells her about a book he's reading. She tells him about her aunt's new puppy. Normal. Easy. Comfortable. Around 6:30 in the evening, they decide to sit outside on the patio. Beautiful day. 72 degrees. Warm for March. Clear sky. Sunset starting. William says, let's go outside. Enjoy the weather. Alicia, good idea. Let me get your jacket. The security camera on the back of the house is motion activated. It's been there for 5 years. William had it installed after a neighbor's house was broken into. He rarely checks the footage. But it's recording. Always recording. 6:34 in the evening. Watch carefully. Every second matters. Alicia pushes William's wheelchair through the back door onto the stone patio. They talk. She's smiling. He says something. She laughs. Throws her head back. Genuine. Happy. Then she walks around to the front of the wheelchair. This is the moment. The moment that will later be played in court. The moment the jury will see and understand everything. Alicia bends down. Places her left hand on the armrest of the wheelchair for balance. And she kisses William on the mouth. Not a peck. Not a quick goodbye. A real kiss. Intimate. Tender. 4 seconds. William's right hand comes up slowly. Touches her cheek. His thumb brushes her jawline. She closes her eyes. So does he. No one knows this camera is recording. This is just two people in love. Private moment. Last moment. She straightens up. Smiles down at him. Moves behind the wheelchair. Grips both handles. Pushes him back toward the house. At 6:35 in the evening, they disappear from the camera's view. 31 seconds total. The last time Alicia Turner is seen alive. Inside the house, Alicia helps William settle in his wheelchair in the living room. She gathers her things. Purse. Phone. Keys. Tells him she's heading home. Need to run some errands before the trip. Pack. Get organized. William asks her to stay for dinner. He wants to give her the ring. Tell her how he feels. Ask her to marry him. She can't tonight. Too much to do. But she promises she'll see him tomorrow before she leaves for North Carolina. William smiles. Tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow. Alicia kisses him goodbye. One more time. On the forehead. Gentle. She walks to the door. Turns back. I love you. William, I love you too. She walks out. 6:47 in the evening. Alicia gets into her green Honda Civic. Starts the engine. Pulls out of the driveway. Turns left onto Maple Street. Heads toward town. She needs groceries for the trip. Snacks for the drive. Maybe pick up a book for the road. Routine errands. Nothing unusual. Vincent and Ramon are parked 3 blocks away in a white rental van. They've been there since 5 o'clock. Waiting. The moment Alicia's car turns the corner, Vincent starts the engine. Follows. Keeps 2 cars between them. Professional. Careful. Alicia drives toward the shopping district. 6:58 in the evening. She pulls into the parking lot of a grocery store. Parks near the back, away from the main entrance. Fewer people. Quieter. She always parks there. Vincent and Ramon notice this during surveillance. She prefers empty spots. Less chance of door dings. Less crowded. That's what they counted on. Alicia gets out of her car. Pops the trunk. Reaches for her reusable shopping bags. The white van pulls up fast. Too fast. Right behind her car. Blocks her in. 2 men jump out. Vincent grabs her from behind. One arm around her waist. Other hand over her mouth. She tries to scream. Can't. Tries to fight. Can't. Vincent is 6'2", 220 pounds, former military, combat trained. Alicia is 5'7", 130 pounds. No chance. Ramon moves fast. Pulls out zip ties. Professional grade. Heavy-duty plastic. The kind police use. Wraps them around her wrists. Pulls tight. Alicia is struggling. Kicking. Trying to break free. Ramon puts his hand over her mouth. Shoves her toward the van. They lift her up. Literally carry her. Throw her into the back. Slam the doors. 30 seconds total. From the moment they grabbed her to the moment the van doors close. 30 seconds. A store employee is walking to his car. Hears something. Looks over. Sees a white van speeding away. Thinks it's weird. Doesn't think much beyond that. Doesn't call police. Doesn't write down the license plate. Just goes home. Alicia's Honda sits there. Trunk open. Driver's door open. Purse on the ground. Contents spilled. Wallet. Phone. Keys. Lipstick. Shopping bags scattered on the pavement. Store security doesn't notice for 40 minutes. They're watching the registers. Checking for shoplifters. Not paying attention to the parking lot. When they finally do a routine camera check at 7:44 in the evening, they see the abandoned car. Call police. By then, Alicia has been gone 46 minutes. And she's already at the warehouse. Riverside Warehouse. Industrial area on the east side of Maplewood. Unit 4B. The warehouse complex has 12 units. All of them abandoned. The company that owned them went bankrupt in 2021. 3 years ago. The property's been in legal limbo ever since. No security. No cameras. No witnesses. Perfect. Vincent parks the van at the back of Unit 4B, hidden from the road. They carry Alicia inside. She's still fighting. Still struggling. Still hoping someone will see. No one does. The back room is small. Concrete floor. Concrete walls. No windows. One door. Metal. Heavy. They put Alicia on the floor. Hands zip-tied behind her back. And Vincent does something investigators will later call the coldest detail of the entire case. He doesn't hurt her right away. He talks. Sits down across from her. Looks her in the eyes. Tells her why she's there. I want you to understand something. This isn't personal. This is business. William's family paid us to make you disappear. They found out about the will. Found out you're getting $2.5 million. They don't want that to happen. So they hired us. $50,000. 25 up front. 25 after. You were in the way. That's all. Nothing personal. Alicia is crying. Shaking. Begging. Please. Please don't do this. I'll leave. I'll quit. I'll sign something saying I don't want the money. Please. I won't tell anyone. Just let me go. Vincent shakes his head. Can't do that. You'd talk. You'd go to the police. We'd all go to prison. Can't take that risk. Alicia, I swear I won't. I swear. Please. I have family. I have a life. Please. Vincent stands up. Sorry. This is how it has to be. 7:45 in the evening. 47 minutes after she was taken. Vincent strangles Alicia Turner to death. He uses a ligature. Thin cord. Wraps it around her neck. Pulls. She fights. Struggles. Can't break free. Hands are tied behind her back. Can't defend herself. Can't pull the cord away. She tries to scream. Can't. No air. She kicks. Wraps her legs around his arm. Tries to throw him off balance. Doesn't work. 3 minutes? That's how long it takes. 3 minutes of fighting. Struggling. Desperate. Then she stops moving. Eyes open. Staring. Gone. They leave her body in that room. Don't move it. Don't cover it. Just leave her there on the concrete floor. Hands still zip-tied. Ligature still around her neck. Still wearing the navy scrubs she put on 13 hours ago. Vincent and Ramon lock the door behind them. Metal padlock. Get in the van. Drive away. Like nothing happened. They meet Tyler 2 hours later. Rest stop off Interstate 64. 40 miles outside Maplewood. 9:50 in the evening. Tyler's waiting in his car. Black Audi. He sees the van pull in. Gets out. Walks over. Vincent rolls down the window. Tyler hands him a duffel bag. Second $25,000. Cash. Vincent takes it. Doesn't count it. Trusts Tyler. Tyler asks one question. Is it done? Vincent nods. She's gone. Tyler, no loose ends? Ramon leans forward from the passenger seat. None. Tyler takes a breath. Okay. Good. He walks back to his car. Drives away. Arrives home 10:17 in the evening. His wife is watching TV. Asks where he's been. Business dinner ran late. She believes him. Doesn't question it. Tyler goes upstairs. Takes a shower. Goes to bed. Sleeps fine. No nightmares. No guilt. Nothing. He just paid two men $50,000 to murder someone, and he sleeps like a baby. Meanwhile, police respond to the abandoned car. 7:44 in the evening. Store security called it in. Officers arrive 7:52. They find Alicia's green Honda Civic. Trunk open. Driver's door open. Purse on the ground. Contents scattered everywhere. Phone still inside the purse. Battery at 73%. Last call made at 6:15 that afternoon. To her aunt. Confirming travel plans. Wallet with $147 cash. Credit cards. Driver's license. Keys in the ignition. Engine off. No signs of mechanical failure. Clear signs of struggle. Purse contents don't just fall out. Someone knocked it over. Someone grabbed someone. Within 2 hours, Maplewood Police Department issues an alert. 35-year-old black female abducted from grocery store parking lot. Name Alicia Turner. Last seen wearing navy scrubs. Driving green Honda Civic. If anyone has information, call this number immediately. The alert goes out to media. Local news picks it up. Runs it on the 10 o'clock broadcast. Missing woman. Possible abduction. Police searching. Police interview William that night. Detective arrives at his house 9:30 in the evening. Knocks on the door. William is sitting in his wheelchair in the living room, wondering why Alicia never called. She always calls when she gets home. Always. Just to say goodnight. But tonight, nothing. His phone is on his lap. He's been staring at it for an hour. Willing it to ring. Detective knocks again. William wheels to the door. Opens it. Detective Morris, Maplewood PD. Are you William Hargrove? William, yes. What's this about? Detective, can I come in, sir? They sit in the living room. Detective pulls out a notepad. Mr. Hargrove, do you know Alicia Turner? William's heart drops. Yes. She's my caregiver. Why? What happened? Detective, her car was found abandoned at the grocery store on Riverside about 2 hours ago. Signs of a struggle. We believe she was abducted. William's world collapses. Everything goes silent. The room spins. He can't breathe. Can't think. Abducted. Alicia. No. No. This isn't real. Detective, Mr. Hargrove, are you okay? William, where is she? Is she okay? Did you find her? Detective, we're still searching. We need to ask you some questions. When did you last see her? William tells everything. Doesn't hold back. The relationship. The love. The family's hatred. The confrontations. The will. All of it. Detective writes furiously. Taking notes. This isn't a random abduction. This is targeted. This is connected to money. To inheritance. To family. Detective, you said your family confronted you about the relationship? William, yes. My son Bradley. My daughter Christine. My grandson Tyler. They wanted me to fire her. Told me she was manipulating me. I threw them out. Detective, when was this? William, January. Late January. Detective, and the will? When did you change that? William, March 5th. About a week and a half ago. Detective, and does your family know about the will change? William hesitates. I don't know. I didn't tell them. But my attorney's assistant is friends with my daughter. She might have told her. Detective stands up. Mr. Hargrove, I'm going to need you to write down the names and contact information for Bradley, Christine, and Tyler. All of them. William does. Shaking hands. Barely legible. He hands the paper to the detective. Please find her. Please. She's everything to me. Detective, we're doing everything we can, sir. The detective leaves. William sits alone in the dark, staring at his phone, waiting for it to ring, praying for it to ring. It doesn't. Next morning, March 15th. Detective brings in Bradley, Christine, and Tyler. Separate interviews. Standard procedure. Bradley comes in first. 8:30 in the morning. Sits down across from Detective Morris in interview room 2. Detective, Mr. Hargrove, thank you for coming in. Bradley, what's this about? My secretary said it was urgent. Detective, Alicia Turner was abducted last night. We're interviewing everyone connected to her. Bradley's face doesn't change. Oh my God! That's terrible. Is she okay? Detective, we don't know. Where were you last night between 6 and 8 in the evening? Bradley, I was home. With my wife. We had dinner together. Watched a movie. Detective, what movie? Bradley, some action thing on Netflix. I don't remember the name. Detective, can your wife confirm that? Bradley, of course. Detective calls Bradley's wife. She confirms. Bradley was home all evening. Dinner at 6:30. Movie from 7:30 to 9:30. In bed by 10. Solid alibi. Detective, okay, Mr. Hargrove. One more question. How would you describe your relationship with Alicia Turner? Bradley, I didn't have a relationship with her. She was my father's employee. Detective, your father says you confronted him about her. Accused her of manipulation. Asked him to fire her. Is that true? Bradley, I was concerned. My father's vulnerable. Paralyzed. Elderly. I thought she might be taking advantage. That's all. Detective, and the will? Bradley, what about it? Detective, did you know your father changed his will? Bradley, no. What does that have to do with anything? Detective, just asking. You can go. Christine comes in next. 9:30. Same questions. Where were you last night? At work. I'm a nurse at Richmond General. Shift started at 3 in the afternoon. Ended at 11 at night. Detective calls the hospital. Confirms. Christine swiped her badge in at 2:57. Swiped out at 11:04. Multiple coworkers saw her throughout the shift. Solid alibi. Tyler comes in last. 10:30. Where were you last night? Business dinner. Client meeting. Went long. Got home around 10:15. Detective, can anyone confirm that? Tyler, my wife. And I have receipts from the restaurant. Tyler shows the detective credit card receipts. Steakhouse in Richmond. Charge at 7:43 for $162. Looks legitimate. Detective calls the restaurant. Yes, we had a reservation under that name. Party of 3. They were here from 7:30 until about 9:15. Tyler's wife confirms he got home around 10:15. Alibi checks out. All 3 of them. Bradley, Christine, and Tyler. All have alibis. All claim they don't know anything. Police have no evidence connecting them to the abduction. No witnesses. No forensic evidence. Nothing. Days pass. Search parties organized. Volunteers combing through parks, wooded areas, riverbanks. Police check traffic cameras. Security footage from nearby businesses. Nothing. Alicia has vanished. March 15th. March 16th. March 17th. A week goes by. March 21st. Still nothing. William stops eating. Loses 12 pounds in a week. Stops sleeping. Sits in his wheelchair day and night, staring at the door, waiting for Alicia to walk through. She never does. His doctor visits. Prescribes anti-anxiety medication. William refuses to take it. I need to be alert. In case she comes back. In case she calls. Doctor, Mr. Hargrove, you need to take care of yourself. William, I don't care about myself. Just find her. March 25th, 2024. 6:47 in the morning. 11 days after Alicia disappeared. Maplewood Police Department receives a phone call. Male voice. Distorted. Like he's talking through a modulator. Electronic. Artificial. Calm. Eerily calm. Riverside Warehouse, Unit 4B. There's a body. Dispatcher, sir, can you repeat that? Riverside Warehouse, Unit 4B. Back room. There's a body. You'll want to check it out. Dispatcher, sir, who is this? What's your name? Line goes dead. Dial tone. Dispatcher immediately alerts Detective Morris. Anonymous tip. Body at Riverside Warehouse. Could be Alicia Turner. Detectives arrive 7:31 in the morning. 2 patrol cars. 4 officers. Detective Morris. Forensics team on standby. The warehouse is massive. 12 separate units. Most of them wide open. Doors missing. Windows broken. Graffiti everywhere. Unit 4B is at the far end. Door closed. Padlocked. Detectives approach carefully. Guns drawn. Don't know what they're walking into. Detective Morris tries the door. Locked. Calls for bolt cutters. Officer cuts the padlock. It falls to the ground with a metallic clang. Detective pushes the door open. It creaks. Loud. Echoes through the empty warehouse. Inside is a large open space. Empty. Concrete floor. Metal beams. Dust everywhere. At the far end is another door. Smaller. Also padlocked. Detective Morris points. That one. 2 officers move forward. Cut the second padlock. Push the door open. And there she is. Alicia Turner. Lying on the concrete floor. Face up. Eyes open. Hands zip-tied behind her back. Ligature around her neck. Still wearing the navy scrubs. Same ones from 11 days ago. Dead. Detective Morris stops. Takes a breath. Calls it in. We found her. Riverside Warehouse, Unit 4B. She's deceased. Need forensics. Need the coroner. Need everything. Forensics team arrives. They process the scene methodically. Photos from every angle. Measurements. Evidence markers. They find DNA on the zip ties. Skin cells? Not Alicia's. Someone else handled these ties before putting them on her. They find fingerprints on the interior door handle. Partial prints. Smudged but usable. They find fibers. On Alicia's scrubs. Carpet fibers. Not from this warehouse. Concrete floors. No carpet. These fibers came from wherever she was held before being brought here. Or from the vehicle used to transport her. They find the ligature. Thin nylon cord. Common. Available at any hardware store. Impossible to trace. They estimate time of death. Based on decomposition, environmental factors, body temperature, Alicia died within hours of being taken. 11 days ago. March 14th. But the breakthrough comes when detectives investigate the warehouse itself. Who owns it? Property records show Hargrove Property Management. Registered owner, William Hargrove. But day-to-day operations managed by Bradley Hargrove. Bradley has access to all properties. All keys. Including this warehouse. Vacant for 3 years. No tenants. No activity. Perfect place to hide a body. Detective Morris pulls Bradley's phone records. Warrant approved within hours. And there it is. March 10th. Tyler Hargrove calls Vincent Cross. 8-minute conversation. March 11th. Bradley withdraws $25,000 cash. Multiple ATMs. Structured withdrawals. March 13th. Another $25,000. Same pattern. Detective pulls Tyler's phone records. March 14th. 6:42 in the evening. Text message to Vincent Cross. Target leaving now. Green Honda. Plate Charlie David 7283. That's Alicia's license plate. Exact match. Sent 7 minutes before Alicia left William's house. Tyler was watching. Or had someone watching. Sent the signal. Go. Now. Investigators track the white van. Rental records from Enterprise. Rented March 13th under the name Robert Mitchell. Fake ID. Fake credit card. But security footage from the rental location shows the person who picked it up. White male. 6'2". 220. Short hair. Muscular build. Facial recognition runs the image through databases. Match. Vincent Cross. Former Marine. Dishonorable discharge 2015. Assault conviction. Known associate, Ramon Silva. Both have criminal records. Both have military backgrounds. Detective runs Vincent's phone records. March 14th. 6:57 in the evening. Call from Tyler Hargrove. 2 minutes. March 14th. 9:48. Another call. 4 minutes. Communication before and after. Detectives get a warrant for the rental van. Enterprise still has it. Different customer now, but forensics can still process it. They find traces of Alicia's DNA. Hair follicles on the back seat. Skin cells on the door handle. Fibers from her scrubs on the carpet. And they find fibers from the zip ties. Exact match to the ones used on Alicia? The van is the crime scene. The van is the connection. Vincent Cross and Ramon Silva are identified through databases. Both have extensive records. Both have connections to Tyler Hargrove through military service. Detective Morris pulls military records. Vincent, Ramon, and Tyler all served in the same unit. 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines. Iraq. 2007 to 2009. They knew each other. Served together. Tyler knew exactly who to call when he needed someone killed. April 3, 2024. Arrests. Coordinated operation. 5 locations simultaneously. 6:30 in the morning. Bradley Hargrove at his home in Maplewood. Christine Hargrove at her apartment in Richmond. Tyler Hargrove at his home in Norfolk. Vincent Cross at his apartment in Virginia Beach. Ramon Silva at a motel outside Hampton. All 5 taken into custody without incident. All 5 charged. Bradley Hargrove, first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder. Christine Hargrove, conspiracy to commit murder, accessory after the fact. Deleted text messages prove she knew. She didn't participate directly, but she knew. She didn't stop it. Tyler Hargrove, first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, kidnapping, solicitation of murder. Vincent Cross, first-degree murder, kidnapping, murder for hire. Ramon Silva, first-degree murder, kidnapping, murder for hire. All 5 are arraigned April 5th. All 5 plead not guilty. Bail denied for Bradley, Tyler, Vincent, and Ramon. Flight risk. Danger to community. Bail set at $500,000 for Christine. She posts it. Out on bail with ankle monitor. Trial date set. September 9th, 2024. 6 months away. If you're still watching at this point, drop a comment with "I'm still here." Let's see who's truly following this shocking story. Because we're about to get into the trial, and I promise you, the testimony is going to leave you speechless. William Hargrove is notified of the arrests. Detective Morris tells him personally, "Your son, your daughter, and your grandson have been arrested. They're accused of conspiring to murder Alicia." William doesn't speak. Just closes his eyes. Tears roll down his face. My own children. My own blood. They killed her for money. Detective, I'm sorry, Mr. Hargrove. William, get out. Please. Just get out. William stops talking after that. His new caregiver, assigned by the agency, Says he barely responds. Eats only when forced. Doesn't sleep. Sits in his wheelchair staring at photos of Alicia. Photos they took together. Smiling. Happy. Alive. His doctor prescribes antidepressants. William refuses. I don't want to forget how this feels. I don't want to forget what they took from me. Prosecution prepares their case. Lead prosecutor, Assistant District Attorney Jennifer Wallace. 38 years old. 16 years experience. 183% of her cases. She reviews the evidence. Phone records. Bank records. Text messages. Forensic evidence from the van. DNA from the warehouse. Witness testimony. And the CCTV footage. 31 seconds that prove everything. She builds her case around a simple narrative. This wasn't random. This was a family eliminating a threat to their inheritance. Defense teams scramble. Bradley's attorney argues circumstantial evidence. No direct proof Bradley ordered the murder. No confession. No recording. Christine's attorney argues she's innocent. Knew nothing. Deleted text messages don't prove anything. Tyler's attorney tries to negotiate. Realizes Tyler's the weak link. Most evidence. Most direct involvement. Texts to Vincent. Payment coordination. Tyler's attorney approaches prosecution. My client is willing to testify against the others in exchange for a reduced sentence. Prosecution, we're listening. Defense, life with possibility of parole after 30 years. Prosecution, full truthful testimony? Defense, everything. Every detail. Every conversation. Every text. Prosecution, deal. September 9th, 2024. Trial begins. Circuit Court, Maplewood, Virginia. Judge Patricia Simmons presiding. Jury selection takes 2 days. 12 jurors. 4 alternates. Diverse panel. 7 women, 5 men. Ages ranging from 24 to 67. Prosecution presents opening statements. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this case is about greed. Pure, simple greed. The defendants, Bradley Hargrove, Christine Hargrove, Tyler Hargrove, Vincent Cross, and Ramon Silva, conspired to murder Alicia Turner for one reason. Money. $2.5 million. Over the next few weeks, you will hear evidence that proves beyond any reasonable doubt that these 5 individuals planned, executed, and covered up the murder of an innocent woman whose only crime was falling in love with an elderly man who loved her back. Defense attorneys present their rebuttals. Bradley's attorney, the prosecution has no direct evidence linking my client to this crime. No confession. No testimony. Just circumstantial connections that prove nothing. Christine's attorney, my client is a nurse. She saves lives. She didn't know anything about this alleged conspiracy. Tyler's attorney, my client made a mistake. A terrible, tragic mistake. But he's willing to take responsibility and help bring the real killers to justice. Vincent and Ramon's attorneys, our clients are being scapegoated by a wealthy family trying to save themselves. Prosecution begins presenting evidence. Day 3. Phone records. Expert witness from Verizon testifies. These records show multiple calls between Tyler Hargrove and Vincent Cross in the days leading up to Alicia Turner's disappearance. March 10th, 8-minute call. March 12th, 3-minute call. March 14th, 2-minute call at 6:57 in the evening, approximately 11 minutes before Alicia was abducted. And a 4-minute call at 9:48, approximately 2 hours after she was killed. Defense cross-examines. Phone calls don't prove anything. They're friends. Former military brothers. They talk regularly. Prosecution, do they regularly talk about $50,000 transactions? Objection. Sustained. Day 4. Bank records. Forensic accountant testifies. Bradley Hargrove withdrew $50,000 cash over a 3-day period. March 11th and March 13th. Structured withdrawals from multiple accounts to avoid federal reporting requirements. This is consistent with someone trying to make a large cash payment without leaving a paper trail. Defense, or it's consistent with someone who needs cash for legitimate business expenses. Prosecution, what business requires $50,000 cash in 3 days? Defense, that's not for me to speculate. Day 5. Text messages. Digital forensics expert testifies. We recovered deleted text messages from all 3 Hargrove family members. The messages show clear conspiracy. March 9th, Bradley texts, "We can't let her steal what's ours." March 10th, Tyler texts, "I know someone who can handle this." March 14th, Tyler texts Vincent, "Target leaving now, green Honda, plate Charlie David 7283. That's Alicia Turner's vehicle and plate. Sent 7 minutes before she left William Hargrove's house." Defense, these texts are taken out of context. Prosecution, what context makes Target leaving now innocent? Silence. Day 6. Forensic evidence. Crime scene investigator testifies. We found Alicia Turner's DNA in the rental van. Hair follicles. Skin cells. Fiber transfer from her scrubs. We also found fibers from the zip ties used to bind her. The van is the crime scene. Security footage from Enterprise shows Vincent Cross renting the van March 13th. He returned it March 15th. Alicia was abducted March 14th. The timeline fits perfectly. Defense tries to challenge chain of custody. Fails. Evidence is airtight. Day 7. Warehouse evidence. Property records expert testifies. Riverside Warehouse, Unit 4B, is owned by Hargrove Property Management. Bradley Hargrove manages all properties. He has keys, access, knowledge of which units are vacant. This warehouse hasn't been used in 3 years. No security. No cameras. Perfect location to hide a body. Defense, lots of people could have known about that warehouse. Prosecution, but only Bradley had keys. Only Bradley could lock the door from outside. Defense, you can't prove Bradley was ever there. Prosecution, we don't have to. He facilitated. He provided the location. That's conspiracy. Day 8. The CCTV footage. This is the moment the trial changes. Prosecution plays the 31-second clip. Courtroom goes silent. Jury watches. Alicia pushing William's wheelchair onto the patio. Them talking. Laughing. Her walking around to the front. Bending down. Placing her hand on the armrest. Kissing him. Real kiss. 4 seconds. William's hand touching her cheek. Her straightening up. Moving behind the wheelchair. Pushing him back inside. Disappearing from view. Prosecution stops the video. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a caregiver and patient. This is not manipulation. This is love. Real, genuine love. And the defendants killed her for it. Several jurors are crying. One woman in the front row wipes her eyes. Defense objects. Prejudicial. Inflammatory. Judge overrules. This footage is evidence of the relationship. It's relevant. It stays. Defense has no rebuttal. How do you argue against what everyone just saw? You can't. The footage speaks for itself. Day 9. William Hargrove testifies. He's wheeled into the courtroom. Frail. Thin. Looks like he's aged 20 years and 6 months. Prosecution, Mr. Hargrove, can you tell the court about your relationship with Alicia Turner? William speaks slowly. Quiet voice. She saved my life. Not medically. Emotionally. Spiritually. When I was paralyzed, my family abandoned me. Alicia showed up every single day. She cared. She listened. She made me feel human again. I fell in love with her. And she loved me back. It wasn't about money. It was never about money. It was about being seen. Being valued. Being loved. Prosecution, and why did you change your will? William, because she deserved it. She gave me 3 years of her life. My own children gave me nothing. I wanted to make sure she was taken care of. I wanted her to know how much she meant to me. Prosecution, did Alicia ever ask you to change your will? William, never. Not once. She didn't even know about it until later. This was my decision. My choice. I was completely competent. I had doctors evaluate me. Lawyers review everything. I knew exactly what I was doing. Defense cross-examines. Bradley's attorney, Mr. Hargrove, isn't it possible that Alicia manipulated you without you realizing it? William, no. Defense, you were vulnerable. Paralyzed. Lonely. William, I was lonely because my family abandoned me. Alicia didn't manipulate me. She loved me. And I loved her. And your client killed her for money he didn't earn and didn't deserve. Courtroom erupts. Judge, order. Order. William is escorted out. He's crying. Shaking. Day 10. Medical experts testify. 3 doctors who evaluated William after he changed his will. All 3 confirmed the same thing. William Hargrove was completely lucid. No signs of dementia. No cognitive impairment. No undue influence. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was competent to make his own decisions. Defense tries to challenge. Brings their own expert. Says elderly people in vulnerable situations can be manipulated. Prosecution destroys him on cross-examination. You never evaluated Mr. Hargrove, did you? No. You never met Alicia Turner, did you? No. So your testimony is based on speculation, not facts. Yes. Day 11. Character witnesses for Alicia. Former clients testify. Alicia took care of my mother for 2 years. Never asked for anything. Never tried to manipulate. Just cared. My father had Alzheimer's. Alicia was patient, kind, professional. When he died, she came to the funeral. Cried with us. She didn't have to. She just cared. Prosecution establishes a pattern. Alicia wasn't a scammer. She was genuine. Compassionate. Professional. Day 12. Tyler Hargrove testifies. This is what everyone's been waiting for. Tyler walks to the stand. Sworn in. Prosecution, Mr. Hargrove, can you tell the court what happened March 8, 2024? Tyler, my Uncle Bradley called a meeting. Me, him, and my Aunt Christine. He told us that our grandfather had changed his will. That almost everything was going to Alicia Turner. We were shocked. Angry. We felt like she'd stolen our inheritance. Prosecution, and what did Bradley propose? Tyler, he said we needed to do something. That if Alicia was alive when Grandpa died, we'd lose everything. But if something happened to her before that, the money would come back to us. Prosecution, did he explicitly say to kill her? Tyler, not at first. He talked around it. But we all knew what he meant. Christine tried to object. Said it was crazy. But Bradley convinced her. Said it was the only way. Prosecution, and what was your role? Tyler, I knew people. From the military. People who do this kind of work. I called Vincent Cross. We served together in Iraq. I knew he'd done jobs like this before. Private security. Enforcement. I asked if he could make someone disappear. He said yes. 50,000. Half up front. Half after. Prosecution, and you agreed? Tyler, yes. I gave him Alicia's information. Her car. Her license plate. Her schedule. I watched the house. Told him when she was leaving. I texted him March 14th at 6:42. Target leaving now. Green Honda. Plate number. He grabbed her 11 minutes later. Prosecution, and after? Tyler, I met Vincent and Ramon at a rest stop 2 hours later. Gave them the second 25,000. Vincent told me it was done. She was dead. I went home. Went to bed. Didn't think about it again until the police showed up. Courtroom is silent. Jurors staring. Some look disgusted. One woman in the back row is shaking her head. Prosecution, do you regret what you did? Tyler, every second of every day. I destroyed my family. I destroyed myself. I took an innocent woman's life for money. There's no excuse. There's no justification. I deserve whatever punishment I get. Defense cross-examines. Bradley's attorney, you're testifying to save yourself, aren't you? Tyler, I'm testifying because it's the truth. Defense, you're getting a deal. Life with parole instead of life without. Tyler, I'm still going to prison for the rest of my life. I'll probably die there. This isn't saving myself. This is telling the truth. Defense has no response. Christine's attorney tries. You're lying to implicate my client. Tyler, no. Christine knew. She deleted texts, but we all talked about it. She didn't stop it. She's guilty too. Christine starts crying. Her attorney tries to comfort her. Doesn't matter. Damage is done. Vincent and Ramon's attorneys decline to cross-examine. Smart move. Anything they ask will just reinforce Tyler's testimony. Day 13. Vincent Cross and Ramon Silva testify in their own defense. Bad idea. Vincent takes the stand. Admits he rented the van. Admits he knew Tyler. But denies everything else. I didn't kill anyone. I wasn't at that warehouse. Tyler's lying to save himself? Prosecution, then why did you rent a van March 13th? Vincent, I needed it for work. Prosecution, what work? Vincent, moving job. Helping a friend. Prosecution, what friend? Vincent, I don't remember. Prosecution, convenient. Why did you return the van March 15th? Vincent, job was done. Prosecution, why was Alicia Turner's DNA in that van? Vincent, I don't know. Maybe someone planted it. Prosecution, someone planted her hair, her skin cells, fibers from her scrubs. Vincent, I don't know how it got there. I didn't kill her. Prosecution destroys him. Plays phone records. Plays text messages. Walks through the timeline minute by minute. 6:42, Tyler texts you. 6:57, you call Tyler. 2-minute conversation. 7:01, Alicia is grabbed. 9:48, you call Tyler again. 4 minutes. Right after you killed her. Explain that. Vincent can't. Stammers. Contradicts himself. Jury sees right through him. Ramon testifies. Same story? Same denials? Same destruction on cross-examination. Both of them look guilty. Sound guilty. Are guilty. Day 14. Closing arguments. Prosecution goes first. Assistant DA Jennifer Wallace stands. Faces the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past 2 weeks, you've heard overwhelming evidence. Phone records. Bank records. Text messages. DNA evidence. Eyewitness testimony. You've seen the CCTV footage of Alicia and William. You've heard from William himself. You've heard Tyler's confession. The evidence is clear. Bradley, Christine, Tyler, Vincent, and Ramon conspired to murder Alicia Turner for $2.5 million. They planned it. They executed it. They covered it up. And they showed no remorse until they were caught. Alicia Turner was 35 years old. She had her whole life ahead of her. She was kind, compassionate, professional. She fell in love with an elderly man who'd been abandoned by his family. And for that, she was kidnapped, terrorized, and murdered. The defendants want you to believe this was Tyler's idea. That Bradley and Christine didn't know. That Vincent and Ramon were just following orders. Don't believe it. They all knew. They all participated. They all benefited. Or they would have, if they'd gotten away with it. They didn't. Because we found the evidence. We found the truth. And now it's your job to deliver justice. Find them guilty. All of them. Every count. Defense closing arguments. Bradley's attorney stands. Ladies and gentlemen, the prosecution wants you to believe my client is a murderer. But they haven't proven it. They've shown you phone calls, text messages, coincidences, but no direct evidence that Bradley ordered this murder. Tyler claims Bradley proposed the plan. But Tyler's a liar. He's testifying to save himself. You can't trust him. You can't convict based on the word of a confessed murderer. Find Bradley not guilty. Christine's attorney. My client is a nurse. She saves lives. Yes, she knew about the will. Yes, she was upset. But being upset isn't a crime. Knowing about a crime isn't the same as participating in it. The prosecution hasn't proven Christine did anything illegal. Find her not guilty. Tyler's attorney doesn't argue innocence. He's guilty. He admits it. But he's taking responsibility. He's testified truthfully. He's helping bring the others to justice. Consider that when you deliberate. Vincent and Ramon's attorneys argue they were scapegoats. Rich family trying to save themselves. But the evidence says otherwise. The van. The DNA. The phone records. The timeline. Everything points to guilt. Jury deliberates. Sent to deliberation room at 2:30 in the afternoon, September 22nd. 4 hours later, 6:30, they send a note. We have verdicts. Courtroom reconvenes. Judge, has the jury reached verdicts? Foreperson, we have, Your Honor. Judge, please read them. Bradley Hargrove. Count 1, conspiracy to commit murder. Guilty. Count 2, first-degree murder. Guilty. Courtroom erupts. Bradley drops his head. His attorney puts a hand on his shoulder. Christine Hargrove. Count 1, conspiracy to commit murder. Guilty. Count 2, accessory after the fact. Guilty. Christine starts sobbing. Loud. Uncontrollable. Tyler Hargrove. Count 1, first-degree murder. Guilty. Count 2, conspiracy to commit murder. Guilty. Count 3, kidnapping. Guilty. Count 4, solicitation of murder. Guilty. Tyler doesn't react. Just stares straight ahead. Vincent Cross. Count 1, first-degree murder. Guilty. Count 2, kidnapping. Guilty. Count 3, murder for hire. Guilty. Vincent curses. Loud. Judge threatens to hold him in contempt. He stops. Ramon Silva. Count 1, first-degree murder. Guilty. Count 2, kidnapping. Guilty. Count 3, murder for hire. Guilty. Ramon shows no emotion. Just nods. October 14th, 2024. Sentencing. Bradley Hargrove. Judge Simmons, you orchestrated the murder of an innocent woman for financial gain. You showed no remorse. No humanity. You used your family connections and resources to commit one of the most calculated, cold-blooded murders this court has ever seen. I sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Christine Hargrove. You knew about the conspiracy. You didn't stop it. You deleted evidence. You're less culpable than your brother and nephew, but you're still guilty. I sentence you to 25 years in prison. Tyler Hargrove. You made the calls. You provided the information. You paid the killers. You facilitated every aspect of this murder. However, you've cooperated with authorities. You've testified truthfully. You've shown genuine remorse. I sentence you to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years. Vincent Cross. You strangled Alicia Turner to death. You took money to kill someone you didn't know. Someone who'd done nothing to you. You're a hired killer. I sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Ramon Silva. Same as Vincent. You participated fully in this murder. Life in prison without the possibility of parole. Court adjourns. All 5 defendants are led away in handcuffs. Families crying. Media swarming. Outside the courthouse, victims' rights advocate reads a statement on behalf of Alicia's family. Alicia Turner was a daughter, a friend, a caregiver, and a woman in love. She was taken from us for money. Money she never asked for. Money she didn't need. The Hargrove family destroyed her because they valued inheritance over human life. No sentence will bring her back. But we hope these convictions send a message. Greed has consequences. But here's what destroys everything. Here's the detail that makes this whole case even more tragic. October 14th, 2024. Same day as sentencing. Same exact day. William Hargrove dies. Heart failure. Natural causes, officially. The death certificate lists cardiac arrest. No foul play. No suspicious circumstances. Just an 84-year-old man with a broken heart whose body finally gave out. But the hospice nurse who was with him in his final days tells a different story. A story that didn't make it into any official report but circulates among the staff. Among the people who cared for William in those last months. The nurse says William stopped talking after the trial ended. Just completely shut down. Wouldn't respond to questions. Wouldn't engage in conversation. Wouldn't react to anything. Just sat in his wheelchair staring at nothing. They tried everything. Music. His favorite jazz records. Poetry. Reading Leaves of Grass like Alicia used to. Nothing worked. He was there physically. But mentally, emotionally, spiritually, he was gone. He'd checked out the moment the guilty verdicts were read. The moment he knew for certain that his own son, his own daughter, his own grandson had murdered the woman he loved. The hospice nurse says on the night William died, October 14th, around 9:30 in the evening, she was sitting with him. He'd been silent for days. Hadn't spoken a single word in almost a week. She was reading a book. Just keeping him company. Making sure he was comfortable. And then, out of nowhere, William spoke. First words in a week. She almost dropped her book. She looked up. William's eyes were focused. Clear. Like he'd come back from wherever he'd been. And he said one sentence. Just one. Quote, I waited 82 years to find love, and my son took it away in 31 seconds. End quote. The nurse didn't know what to say. She reached for his hand. Mr. Hargrove, I'm so sorry. William didn't respond. Didn't acknowledge her. His eyes went distant again. Unfocused. And then, less than 5 minutes later, his heart stopped. Just stopped. Monitors started beeping. Nurse called for help. But there was nothing to do. William Hargrove was gone. Died the same day his son was sentenced to life in prison. Died knowing his family had destroyed everything. Died alone except for a nurse he'd known for 3 weeks. Not his children. Not his grandson. Just a stranger paid to sit with him while he died. Now here's where it gets even worse. The will. Remember the will? The one William changed March 5th? The one that gave Alicia $2.5 million plus the house? The one with the clause about convictions voiding inheritance? That will is still valid. Still legally binding. And here's how it plays out. Because Alicia predeceased William, because she died before he did, her bequest is void. She can't inherit. Dead people can't receive inheritances. So under normal circumstances, that $2.5 million would revert to the original beneficiaries. Would go back to Bradley, Christine, and Tyler according to the old will. That's standard legal procedure. But William wasn't stupid. He anticipated this. He knew his family might try something. That's why he included that clause. Quote, if any family member is convicted of any crime against Alicia Turner, their inheritance is void. All amounts they would have received under any version of this will are donated to charity. End quote. Bradley was convicted of conspiracy to commit murder and first-degree murder. Both are crimes against Alicia Turner. His inheritance is void. Christine was convicted of conspiracy to commit murder and accessory after the fact. Both are crimes against Alicia Turner. Her inheritance is void. Tyler was convicted of first-degree murder, conspiracy, kidnapping, and solicitation. All crimes against Alicia Turner. His inheritance is void. Every single member of William's family who was supposed to inherit is now disqualified. The clause activates. Their portions don't go to other family members. Don't get redistributed. Go directly to charity. All of it. $0 to Bradley. $0 to Christine. $0 to Tyler. The entire estate, $3.2 million, is distributed among 5 charities. American Cancer Society, because Alicia's mother died of cancer. Jazz Foundation of America, because William loved jazz. Literacy programs, because William loved poetry. Spinal cord injury research, because William was paralyzed. And home healthcare worker assistance funds, because that's what Alicia was. The family murdered Alicia Turner for $2.5 million and received nothing. Actually worse than nothing. They received life sentences. Destroyed their own lives. Destroyed their father's life. Destroyed their family name. And got $0. The money they killed for went to charity. Every single cent. There's a certain poetic justice in that, isn't there? But it doesn't bring Alicia back. Doesn't undo the murder. Doesn't heal the trauma. Just means the killing was even more pointless than it already was. But there's something from the trial transcripts that should terrify you. Something that didn't get much media attention but matters more than almost anything else in this case. During Vincent Cross's interrogation, before he lawyered up, before he stopped talking, a detective asked him a question. Detective Morris sat across from Vincent in interview room 2. This was April 4, 2024. Day after the arrest. Vincent hadn't requested an attorney yet. Thought he could talk his way out. Thought he was smarter than the cops. Detective Morris is experienced. 22 years on the force. She knows how to get people talking. She starts casual. Just chatting. Building rapport. Then she asks, Mr. Cross, have you done work like this before? Families hiring you to handle problems? Vincent looks at the camera mounted in the corner of the room. Looks back at the detective. And he smiles. Not a nervous smile. Not a guilty smile. A knowing smile. Like he's in on a joke the detective doesn't get. And he says, quote, you'd be surprised how often families kill for inheritance, end quote. Detective Morris leans forward. How often, Mr. Cross? Vincent's smile widens. More than you think. Way more than you think. Detective, are you saying you've been hired by families before? Vincent, I'm saying inheritance brings out the worst in people. Makes them do things they never thought they'd do. His attorney arrives at that moment. Shuts down the interrogation immediately. Mr. Cross won't be answering any more questions. Interview terminated. Vincent never elaborates. Never gives details. Never names names. And Detective Morris can't pursue it without evidence. Can't investigate based on a vague statement. So that line of questioning ends. Case closed after the convictions. No follow-up. No deeper investigation into whether Vincent and Ramon killed other people for other families. Just that one statement hanging in the air. You'd be surprised how often families kill for inheritance. Think about that for a second. Really think about it. Vincent didn't say if. He said how often. Meaning it's not a question of whether families do this. It's a question of how frequently. How many other families have hired killers to eliminate relatives, caregivers, spouses who stood between them and money? How many other Alicias are out there? Dead. Buried. Cases unsolved or ruled accidents or attributed to random violence when really, it was family. It was inheritance. It was greed. We don't know. Most cases aren't as sloppy as the Hargroves. Most families who do this are smarter. More careful. Don't leave text message trails. Don't use relatives' warehouses. Don't hire people with direct connections. They use cutouts. Intermediaries. Professionals who know how to make deaths look natural. Heart attacks. Falls. Car accidents. Overdoses. Statistically plausible. Legally unprovable. And they get away with it. We'll never know how many. Never know how often. Just that it happens. More than we think. Way more than we think. Here's what this case reveals about human nature. About family. About money. Alicia Turner did everything right. Everything. She had perfect reviews. 8 years of experience as a home healthcare aide. 47 families served before William. Every single one gave her 5 stars. Many wrote unsolicited letters of recommendation. Praised her professionalism. Her compassion. Her dedication. She followed all protocols. Maintained boundaries. Didn't pursue a relationship with William. Feelings developed naturally over 2.5 years of daily interaction. Of shared experiences. Of genuine connection. And when those feelings became undeniable, when they both acknowledged they were in love, they still kept it quiet. Still maintained professionalism in public. Still respected the employer-employee dynamic in front of others. William made the decision to change his will independently. Consulted his attorney. Had doctors evaluate his competency. Made sure everything was legal and airtight. Alicia didn't ask for money. Didn't manipulate. Didn't scheme. Just loved someone who loved her back. And for that, she was murdered. William's decision wasn't incompetence. Wasn't diminished capacity. Wasn't undue influence. It was gratitude. Recognition that Alicia gave him 3 years of dignity when his family gave him nothing. 3 years of companionship when they abandoned him. 3 years of hope when they let him despair alone. Multiple doctors evaluated William. All confirmed he was completely lucid. Memory intact. Decision-making capacity unimpaired. He knew exactly what he was doing. He wanted to reward someone who actually cared about him instead of people who only cared about his money. But to Bradley, Christine, and Tyler, that money was theirs by blood. Theirs by birth. Theirs by virtue of being William's children and grandchildren. Didn't matter they hadn't visited. Didn't matter they'd abandoned him for 3 years. Didn't matter they only showed up when they needed money. The inheritance was supposed to be theirs. That's how they saw it. That's how they justified murder. She was stealing from us. Taking what belonged to us. We had to stop her. Except it wasn't theirs. It was William's. His money. His house. His assets. Earned over a lifetime of work. And he had every right to give it to whoever he wanted. To the person who actually showed up. Who actually cared. Who actually made his last years worth living. But Bradley, Christine, and Tyler couldn't accept that. So they eliminated the obstacle. Paid $50,000 to have Alicia kidnapped and killed. And in doing so, destroyed everything. Think about the timeline one more time. Because the timeline is what makes this so heartbreaking. March 14, 2024. 6:34 in the evening. Alicia kisses William on the patio. 31 seconds captured on camera. She has no idea that 3 blocks away, Vincent and Ramon are waiting in a white van. No idea that Tyler sent her license plate number 92 minutes ago. No idea that the family she's heard about but never met has paid $50,000 to kill her. She's just kissing someone she loves. Feeling happy. Feeling safe. Feeling like life is good. 31 seconds later, 6:35, she's back inside the house. Helping William settle. Making sure he's comfortable. They talk about tomorrow. She'll see him before her trip. Maybe have breakfast together one more time. He smiles. Tells her he loves her. She says it back. Everything is normal. Everything is fine. 13 minutes later, 6:48, she's in her car. Driving away. Heading to the grocery store. Still happy. Still safe. Still alive. 11 minutes after that, 6:59, she's parked. Getting out. Popping the trunk. Reaching for shopping bags. 2 minutes later, 7:01, she's grabbed. Thrown into a van. Zip-tied. Terrified. 44 minutes after that, 7:45, she's dead. Strangled. In a warehouse. Surrounded by concrete and dust and nothing. Alone except for her killers. Probably wondering why. Probably thinking about William. Probably hoping someone will save her. No one does. 11 days later, March 25th, she's found. Body decomposed. Still wearing the same navy scrubs. Still zip-tied. Still in that warehouse. 6 months later, September 22nd, her killers are convicted. All 5. Guilty on all counts. 7 months later, October 14th, William dies. Broken. Alone. Destroyed by his own family. Total time from that kiss on the patio to Alicia's death. 1 hour and 11 minutes. That's all. 71 minutes from love to murder. From safety to terror. From life to death. And if she'd known, if someone had told her at 6:34 that she had 71 minutes left, what would she have done differently? Would she have run? Called police? Driven to another city and never looked back? Or would she have stayed on that patio with William? Stayed in that moment? Kissed him longer? Held him tighter? Knowing those 31 seconds were all they had left? We'll never know. Can't ask her. She's gone. But we know this. She deserved better. Deserved to live. Deserved to be safe. Deserved to love and be loved without being murdered for it. William deserved better. Deserved to spend his final years with someone who made him happy. Deserved to die in peace instead of in despair. Deserved family who actually cared instead of family who killed for money they didn't earn. If you work in healthcare, especially home care, you need to understand something. This case isn't an outlier. It's not a freak occurrence. It's a warning. Alicia had everything going for her. Perfect record. Years of experience. Glowing reviews. Professional conduct. And she still became a target. Why? Because she showed compassion. Because she cared. Because she treated William like a human being instead of a paycheck. And his family saw that as a threat. Saw her as an obstacle. Saw $2.5 million slipping away and decided murder was the solution. The warning signs weren't Alicia's behavior. She did nothing wrong. The warning signs were the family's reaction. Sudden confrontations. Accusations with zero evidence. Demands to fire her. Hostility. Threats. Alicia experienced all of that. Bradley showed up unannounced. Screamed at her. Called her a manipulator. All 3 family members came to the house together. Ganged up on William. Tried to force him to fire her. Those are warning signs. Red flags. Indicators that something is seriously wrong. When family members suddenly appear after months or years of absence, and immediately accuse you of manipulation, that's not concern. That's not love. That's money. They're worried about inheritance. About losing access to assets they consider theirs. And if you're in the way, you become a target. Alicia had 3 hostile confrontations with the Hargroves. 3 separate incidents where they accused her, threatened her employment, made her feel unwelcome. She should have documented every single one. Written down dates, times, what was said, who was present. She should have reported it to her agency. Created a paper trail. Made sure someone else knew what was happening. She didn't. And that's understandable. She probably thought it would blow over. Thought the family would calm down eventually. Thought William would handle it. She didn't want to cause problems. Didn't want to seem paranoid. Didn't want to create drama where maybe there wasn't any. So she ignored the warning signs. Tried to stay professional. Tried to keep the peace. And it escalated from confrontations to conspiracy to murder. 3 months from the first hostile encounter to her death. 3 months. If you're a healthcare worker and you experience this, document everything. Keep a journal. Write down every interaction with family members. Every accusation. Every threat. Every time you feel unsafe or uncomfortable. Dates and times. Exact quotes if possible. Witnesses if there were any. Email it to yourself so there's a timestamp. Send it to a friend or family member so there's a backup. Create evidence. Because if something happens, if the situation escalates, you'll need that paper trail. You'll need proof that this wasn't random. That there was a pattern. That you saw it coming. Report hostile interactions to your agency immediately. Don't wait. Don't try to handle it yourself. Tell your supervisor. Tell HR. Tell whoever manages your assignments. Explain what's happening. Provide the documentation. Ask to be reassigned if necessary. Most agencies would rather reassign you than deal with a wrongful death lawsuit. They'll take your concerns seriously if you present them professionally. If you have evidence. If you make it clear this is about safety, not just personality conflicts. And trust your instincts. If you feel watched, threatened, or unsafe, take it seriously. Don't brush it off. Don't tell yourself you're being paranoid. Don't minimize your own fear. Your brain is picking up on something. Subtle cues. Body language. Tone of voice. Patterns of behavior. Things you might not consciously register, but your subconscious knows are wrong. Listen to that. Act on that. Remove yourself from the situation. File a police report if necessary. Get a restraining order if you have to. Do whatever it takes to protect yourself. Alicia had those feelings. The hospice nurse who took over after Alicia's death found a journal in Alicia's apartment. Personal journal. Not work-related. Just her thoughts. Entries from January and February 2024. After the confrontations with Bradley, Christine, and Tyler. She wrote about feeling uneasy. Feeling like she was being watched. Feeling like the family hated her more than was normal. She wrote, quote, "I know they're angry about the will. I know they think I'm after William's money. But the way Bradley looked at me today, it scared me. Like I wasn't a person. Like I was a problem to solve. End quote. She felt it. Knew something was wrong. But she didn't act on it. Didn't report it. Didn't protect herself. Maybe she thought she was overreacting. Maybe she didn't want to worry William. Maybe she just hoped it would go away. It didn't. It escalated to murder. And now she's dead. And William's dead. And 5 people are in prison. And an entire family is destroyed. All because Alicia ignored her instincts. Don't be Alicia. Don't ignore the warning signs. Don't minimize the danger. Don't trust that family means safety. Because in cases like this, family means motive. Family means inheritance. Family means greed. And greed makes people capable of things you wouldn't believe. Things you can't imagine. Things like paying $50,000 to have someone kidnapped and strangled and left in a warehouse for 11 days. The Hargrove case officially closed October 2024. All 5 defendants are serving their sentences. Bradley Hargrove, life without parole. Federal Penitentiary in Pennsylvania. Christine Hargrove, 25 years. Women's Correctional Facility in Virginia. Tyler Hargrove, life with possibility of parole after 30 years. Maximum Security Prison in Virginia. Vincent Cross, life without parole. Federal Penitentiary in West Virginia. Ramon Silva, life without parole. Same facility as Vincent. All 5 will likely die in prison. None of them got the money. None of them got away with it. All of them destroyed their lives for nothing. William is dead. Buried next to his late wife. The funeral was small. Attended by a few neighbors. Former colleagues. People from his church. None of his family. Bradley, Christine, and Tyler were in jail awaiting trial. Couldn't attend even if they wanted to. Which they probably didn't. The pastor who officiated said William's last request was to be buried with a photo of Alicia. The photo from the patio. The one where she's smiling. Happy. Alive. That photo is in his casket. So in a way, they're together. Not the way William wanted. Not the way anyone wanted. But together. Alicia is buried in Richmond. Near her mother. Family plot. Her aunt organized the funeral. Hundreds of people attended. Former clients. Co-workers. Friends from nursing school. People whose lives she touched. People who loved her. The eulogy focused on her compassion. Her kindness. Her ability to see people. Really see them. Not as patients or assignments or burdens. But as human beings deserving of dignity and love. That's who Alicia was. That's what she gave to William. And that's why she died. But the questions remain. Questions that will never be answered. Questions that should haunt all of us. How many other families have conspired to eliminate caregivers they saw as threats to their inheritance? How many other killers like Vincent and Ramon are out there, waiting for the next call, the next $50,000? How many healthcare workers right now are being watched by families who see them as obstacles instead of helpers? How many are in danger and don't even know it? We don't know. Can't know. Most families who do this are smarter than the Hargroves. More careful. More patient. They don't leave obvious trails. Don't use connected properties. Don't hire people with military records and connections to the family. They use professionals. Real professionals. People who know how to make deaths look natural. How to avoid evidence. How to create alibis. And they get away with it. Walk free. Inherit the money. Live their lives like nothing happened. While someone who cared, someone who helped, someone who loved is dead. Statistically, we know inheritance is a motive in approximately 15% of all murders where the victim and perpetrator are related. 15%. That's not a small number. That's thousands of cases every year in the United States alone. Adult children killing parents. Siblings killing siblings. Spouses killing spouses. Grandchildren killing grandparents. All for money. All for assets. All for inheritance they think they deserve. And those are just the cases where we can prove motive. Where there's evidence. Where someone gets caught. How many more go unsolved? How many are ruled accidents or natural causes when really, someone helped them along? Think about elderly people who fall down the stairs. Statistically common. Accidents happen. But how many of those falls were actually pushes? How many people on blood thinners who have sudden brain hemorrhages were actually given extra medication by a family member who knows that'll cause bleeding? How many heart attack victims were stressed into cardiac arrest by relatives who stand to inherit? We'll never know. Because unless there's obvious evidence, unless someone confesses or leaves a trail, we assume natural causes. We assume accidents. We give families the benefit of the doubt. And most of the time, we're probably right. But sometimes, we're not. The Hargrove case is different only because they got caught. Because they were sloppy. Because Tyler cracked and confessed. But Vincent's statement suggests this kind of thing happens all the time. Families hiring people to eliminate obstacles to inheritance. Professionals who make good money doing it. An entire underground industry built on greed and murder. And we only see the tip of the iceberg. Only catch the stupid ones? The careless ones. The ones who make mistakes. So if you work in healthcare, if you care for elderly people, if you develop close relationships with clients, if you're ever named in the will or given gifts or treated like family, understand the risk. Understand that somewhere out there, actual family members might see you as a threat. Might start doing math. Calculating how much they stand to lose if you inherit instead of them. And some of them, a small percentage but not zero, will decide you need to disappear. Protect yourself. Vary your routines. Don't park in the same spot every day. Don't leave at the same time. Don't take the same route home. Make yourself a harder target. Make surveillance more difficult. If someone's watching, make them work for it. Maybe they'll give up. Maybe they'll decide it's too risky. Maybe they'll choose another option. Document everything. Every hostile interaction. Every threat. Every accusation. Every time you feel unsafe. Create that paper trail. Make sure someone else knows what's happening. Your agency. Your family. Your friends. Law enforcement if necessary. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't handle it alone. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. If a family member makes you uncomfortable, take it seriously. If you feel watched or followed or threatened, act on it. Report it. Remove yourself from the situation. Your life is worth more than any job. More than any client. More than any paycheck. If you feel unsafe, leave. Find another assignment. Work for another agency. Move to another city if you have to. Just get out. Because Alicia didn't. And Alicia's dead. Now, before we wrap this up, I want you to think about something. Think about the 31 seconds on that patio. Alicia bending down. Kissing William. His hand on her cheek. Both of them smiling. Happy. In love. Completely unaware that killers are waiting 3 blocks away. Completely unaware that they have 71 minutes left together. Completely unaware that this is the last time they'll ever be happy. If they'd known, would they have done anything different? Maybe they would have run. Gotten in the car and driven away. Left Virginia. Changed their names. Started over somewhere Bradley and Christine and Tyler couldn't find them. Maybe they would have gone to the police. Shown them the will. Explained the situation. Asked for protection. Maybe that would have been enough. Maybe the police would have investigated. Maybe they would have caught the conspiracy before it became murder. Or maybe not. Maybe the Hargroves would have just waited. Been more patient. Tried again later when everyone's guard was down. Or maybe, knowing they only had 71 minutes, Alicia and William would have stayed right there on that patio. Stayed in that moment. Kissed longer. Held tighter. Said everything they'd been holding back. Told stories. Shared memories. Laughed and cried and lived an entire lifetime in 71 minutes. Because sometimes, when you know the end is coming, the only thing that matters is the time you have left. Not running. Not hiding. Not fighting. Just being. Together. For as long as you can. We'll never know what they would have chosen. Can't ask them. They're both gone now. But we can learn from them. We can honor them. We can make sure this doesn't happen to someone else. We can be smarter. More careful. More aware. We can protect the caregivers who dedicate their lives to helping others. We can value compassion over inheritance. We can choose love over greed. We can be better than Bradley, Christine, and Tyler Hargrove. This is 72-Hour True Crime. I've just taken you through one of the most heartbreaking cases of family betrayal and greed I've ever covered. The murder of Alicia Turner wasn't random violence. Wasn't a crime of passion. Was cold, calculated, premeditated murder motivated purely by inheritance. By $2.5 million that the killers never received. By money that went to charity instead. By greed that destroyed 2 lives and sent 5 people to prison for the rest of their existence. If this case moved you, if it made you think, if it changed how you see family and money and trust, I want you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button right now. Join the 72-Hour True Crime community. We cover cases like this every week. Cases that matter. Cases that teach us something about human nature. About justice. About the darkness that exists even in places we think are safe. Turn on your notifications so you never miss an investigation. And drop a comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you've experienced something similar. Tell me how this case affected you. I read every single comment. This community is everything to me, and your thoughts matter. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this story. Someone who works in healthcare. Someone who cares for elderly relatives. Someone who might be in a similar situation and doesn't realize the danger. Alicia's story needs to be told. Needs to be shared. Needs to be a warning. So people don't make the same mistakes. So people protect themselves. So people understand that family doesn't always mean safety. Sometimes it means motive. Alicia Turner's last moment of freedom was 6:34 in the evening, March 14, 2024. Kissing William Hargrove on a patio while a camera recorded and killers waited 3 blocks away. She had 13 minutes of life left before she walked out that door. 71 minutes before she was murdered. 11 days before she was found. 6 months before her killers were convicted. 7 months before William died of a broken heart. All because a family decided $2.5 million was worth more than human life. Worth more than love. Worth more than decency. Remember her. Remember this case. Remember that greed kills. And protect yourself. Because somewhere out there, right now, another family is having the same conversation Bradley, Christine, and Tyler had. Another caregiver is being watched. Another Vincent Cross is waiting for a phone call. Another Alicia Turner is about to become a target. Don't let it be you. Stay safe. Stay smart. Stay alive. This is 72-Hour True Crime, and I'll see you in the next investigation.